Hi, and welcome to the Sunday Morning Knits podcast. Hi, and welcome to Sunday Morning Knits, my podcast where I talk about all things knitting and spinning and occasionally crochet, basically all the fiber arts that I love, but for the most part, knitting. I'm Laura, and I am the creator behind Sunday Morning Knits. Okay, today I'm coming at you with a fairly standard, fairly typical podcast episode. I'm going to talk about my FOs, my finished objects, my current works in progress, some acquisitions that I have acquired, and some design ideas I have, and finally some future knitting plans that I have. But I'm going to start off today with my finished objects. My first finished object is actually what I'm wearing. I am wearing the Flutter Buttshirt by Jessie Maed Designs. I knit this in a Merino cashmere fingering by the Salty Blonde Fibers in the colorway No Judge of Beauty. This is from her Jane Austen collection, and I love it. I finished it the other day, and it's just fantastic. If you watched my previous podcast, you know that this was actually in two pieces a couple weeks ago because I knit the body way too short. I realized, I don't know if you can see on camera, it came to like here. So it's bottom up. So I didn't realize that I had knit it too short until I was like doing the bottom ruffle. I'll put some B-roll in here so you can actually see what it looks like. But yeah, I had to basically cut the sweater apart. I'm sorry if you can hear banging noises, that's my cat jumping all over the place. I had to cut the sweater apart and add some length to the body, which is why it was in two pieces last time we chatted. But basically I realized after that video that I was almost done. I think I added one more, Maeve. I think I added like one more row and then Kitchenered the entire body back together and then bound off the ruffle and I was done. So it was far less work than I was actually expecting it to be. In terms of the project, I really loved it. I loved how easy it was to knit. I don't really like bottom-up constructions because I always run into that issue of like, what if I knit it a little bit too short? But since this was a stockinette project, it wasn't that big of a deal in the end. It was really easy. I love the little like fluttery sleeves and the little fluttery bottom. I think it's just adorable. I think this is what I'm gonna wear to Flock next weekend. So if you see me there, I will probably be wearing this. The one thing I don't like about this is where I Kitchenered, you can still kind of see a line. Maybe it's not super obvious, and I realize like you can't see it on camera, but that's the one thing I don't like. But otherwise, and I mean, it's not that obvious, so otherwise I think it's adorable. The last thing I actually have left to do is sew in a little tag. I have little tags that say handmade by Laura, and that's the last thing I have to do with this garment. Actually, I think there's like one, yeah, one loose end. It's under this armpit that I realized I forgot to trim, so I'll do that too. I'll do that after this podcast. You will not see that vlog, I hope. But yes, so this is my first finished object and what I am wearing today. The next finished object that I have is my Lunan Tee by the wonderful Crayabea by Rebecca Clow. I'm so sorry it's quite wrinkly. This has actually been sitting on my floor. I should take better care of my knits, but I don't. Whoops. So this is my Lunan Tee. This is a test knit for the Crayabea. I knit the DK crew neck version. This also comes as a polo, and I knit it in size 7, and the only modification I made was in the sleeves. So this is a drop shoulder, or like a baby drop shoulder. I realize I'm showing you the back. This is the front. It's kind of like a baby drop shoulder where this part kind of comes down a little bit, and then you have the sleeve. I shortened the sleeve. I basically just did the short rows of the sleeve and then the ribbing and bound off. I think you were supposed to knit it a few more centimeters or something. I chose not to do that, and I really like how it turned out. It's a little bit thick. I maybe should have done the fingering weight version just because I live in SoCal. but this is gonna be more like a winter garment for me, I think. I really like it though. I love how it turned out. The 3x1 rib ended up being really methodical for me. It became my TV knitting, really, which was great. I was not expecting that. Normally stockinette is my TV knitting, but this ended up becoming my TV knitting in the end. It was wonderful. I love the color. I think it's really cute. I knit this in Soho Plein Air, and the colorway, oh, let me just look at my notes. Oh no, I didn't write down the colorway. Pink Dusk, I think, was the colorway. It's more of like an eraser pink to me, honestly. I get like school eraser vibes from this, but I kind of love it. So yeah, I knit this with size US size 6, I think, 4mm needles, but don't quote me on that. You can check out my Ravelry. I have all the information there. And yeah, I knit this with just under 4 skeins of Plein Air by Soho for the size 7 crew neck. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. This is actually the very first summer knit I have ever finished. I have lived in SoCal for 2 years now. I moved here from Canada for school, and I'm just now finishing up some summer knits. So this is the first one I ever finished. My Flutter Buttshirt is my second one I've ever finished, and I have a third one, and I'm almost done, that I'll show you in the whip section today. But yeah, I think that's everything for my Lunan. I really love it. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for choosing me to test. I had a wonderful time. If you're curious more about the testing process, I did a whole vlog on knitting the Lunan, so please go check that out. I will link it in like the little card above, if I can figure out how to do that. Otherwise, it'll be in the show notes, but yeah, that's my Lunan. Okay, I have 2 other finished objects. I have this. This is a yarn cozy by the wonderful Nitty Natty. I have a whole bunch of scraps and was watching her vlogs and was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be traveling soon, and this sounds super helpful. So I did her yarn cozy with the little, what does she call this? The invisible loop. You have this kind of like teeny little invisible loop, which I love. I ended up going up a size for the needles. I can't remember what size needles I used, but I do know that I went up a size, and I used fingering weight yarn. I had 20 grams of the fingering weight yarn, but I didn't use nearly all of that. I think I used 10 in total for it. And I think it's just gonna be really helpful. After seeing that video of somebody's yarn ball rolling down the like aisle of the plane, I am terrified of that happening to me. I've had that happen to me in lectures, because I'm a PhD student, I TA, and because I'm a PhD student and I'm TAing undergrad classes, like I know all the material, so I don't really have to, it's not that I don't have to pay close attention. Of course I have to pay close attention, but it's not like active learning for me. So, and I don't have to take notes because of that. So I sit and knit in my lectures, which is totally fine. Everyone's okay with it. But I have totally dropped my yarn balls and had them like roll down from like the back of the lecture hall a couple rows. And luckily the couple times that's happened, it's like landed at the feet of my students. And they have just like rolled it back up to me, but whew, embarrassing. So yeah, I just pictured that happening on the airplane and was like, yeah, I think I need a yarn cozy. So here we are, a little yarn cozy. I have a little carabiner that I'm gonna put, oh, I'm stuck. Oh no. Well, that was horrifying. Yeah, I have a little carabiner that I'm gonna put through here and then hopefully like clip it onto my backpack or something. Oh, hello, kitty. Hi, Maeve. Oh, she's just gonna come join us for the rest of the podcast. Oh, so sweet. Okay, but now I have to be in focus. Please, camera, focus back on me. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I just pictured that happening and was like, I need a yarn cozy. So I knit a little yarn cozy. I definitely plan on knitting some more. These were really fun, really easy. I have a little cake of yarn in there at the moment, just to kind of show you what the yarn cozy looks like. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. I have lots of scraps, so I will be making lots more of these. So this is my third finished object from the last 2 weeks. Okay, I have one final finished object, and it is a spinning finished object. I was lucky enough to win a couple of Tour de Fleece prizes from my old local yarn store back in Calgary, Stash Lounge, YYC. And they sent me 2 mystery bats and a little diz. Thank you so much, Stash. You made me so happy, especially because I actually started spinning because I saw Stash Lounge's posts during Tour de Fleece 2 or 3 years ago. It inspired me to like get my first fleece. It was comb top and a little drop spindle, and that's how I started spinning. So this is the first year that I actually partook in Tour de Fleece, and winning prizes from them was just made me so happy. So I have spun up one of the mystery bats that they sent me, and here I'll do a little close up. This is a merino and recycled sari silk bat from the Fiber Imp in Canada, and it is just the most luxurious thing ever. I saw it and was like immediately like, I'm gonna start spinning this, because I didn't have anything on my wheel or on my bobbins because Tour de Fleece had just ended, and I saw this and I was like in a tiny bit of a spinning slump and was like, oh yes, I know exactly what I'm going to make. So I ended up with 241.5 meters, and it's somewhere around a fingering weight, kind of like on the border of like light fingering, maybe sport, maybe DK in like 2 or 3 places. I already have a pattern idea for this. It's going to be a design by me. I already know what I'm gonna do. And I think it's gonna be amazing. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I cannot wait to show you. This is my first true woolen spun yarn. I spun it long draw on my wheel, and when I was washing it, I did the whole like thwacking thing, which was an experience. Spilled water all over my floor while washing this as well, which was a nightmare, but oh well, it was worth it. I am truly amazed by woolen spinning. Like the yarn just evens out so much. It's kind of astonishing. I love it. So yeah, super happy with this. Yeah, keep your eyes peeled for a pattern coming with this. I already know what it's gonna be. I just have to like sit down and do it. I can't wait. It's gonna be great. And I think that is it for finished objects. Let's talk about some of my works in progress. So I have not made any progress on my God's blanket, so I'm not going to show you that today. I also haven't made any progress on my poet socks since I started them. My couple scrappy blankets, I haven't made any progress on them. I added like 1 row to one of my scrappy blankets, but that's it. So I'm not going to show you any of those, but I have some sweater and shirt, etc. progress that I am excited to show you. So first up, I have my Saskie sweater. This is a design by the Petite Knitter. I have loved her designs since I stumbled upon her years ago. And if you know me in real life, or I don't know if I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but if you know me in real life, you know that I love bunnies. I used to rescue and foster bunnies. I just think they're the best. I hope to foster them again someday because, oh my god, I just love them so much. Don't get me wrong, I love my cat. She's the best. But I adore bunnies. So, I have adored bunnies, to be clear, since I was born. Like, ask my parents. I have been bunny crazy my whole life. So, when the Petite Knitter came out with this pattern, I was like, well, I obviously have to make this. And it was taking me a while to get to it. But here we are. I finally have gotten to it. Okay, sorry about that. I'm having focus issues because my cat is in the background, so I've moved up a little and I hope that keeps me in focus. But anyway, my Saskie sweater. So, yes, I'm knitting the size 8 because I want really big and oversized, really comfy, cozy, keep me warm in winter vibes. I like how much positive ease the designer has in her sample, and so I thought I would go with something similar. I love Wei Chin. I have test knit for her a couple times now, and oh, she's just the best. So, Saskie sweater time. What else? I am knitting this on US size 4, so 3.5mm needles. The pattern calls for fingering weight yarn, but I'm actually knitting this on sport weight. I didn't like how open my gauge was. Like, you could even see the floats behind in the colorwork section with the fingering weight yarn. So I went up to sport weight and I got the same gauge, and I don't have the same like float issue problem. Here, I'll do a close-up so you can see. And please ignore the fact that my color work is really uneven. This was the first time I ever did two-handed color work, and it's great. It went really well, and blocking will solve all the uneven stitch problems. So yeah. Yeah, so sport weight instead of fingering weight, and I'm loving it. I just finished a ball on the body, and so I decided to just put that on hold. I just basically put the like cable caps on the cable because I'm using Chow Goose. And I picked up for a sleeve. So I'm gonna do a sleeve next. I generally like to do the sleeves, so I'll finish a skein on the body and then switch to doing the sleeves because I find it's a lot easier to manage just in general when you do the sleeves first. That way you're not like having to turn a massive body of fabric. It's a lot easier to do that when there's very little. So that's my Saskie sweater. Progress. I love it. I'm so excited to wear it. I am not going to be able to wear this until December when I go home to Canada because it's 100% Peruvian Highland wool. Oh, I forgot to mention, this is Cascade Sport in the colors white and cranberry, I think. It'll be on my Ravelry. I think it's white and cranberry, but yeah, I'm not going to be able to wear this until I go home at Christmas. So I am just chugging away on this slowly. Yeah, my goal is to be done it by December. It's just my basically stockinette TV knitting. My partner and I really love watching baseball, so I tend to work on this while we're watching baseball games because it's just really easy in the round stockinette. Now that the color work is all done. Yeah, and I'm super excited. I love this. I think it's so cute. It's gonna be like the cutest sweater ever. I literally can't wait to be done this. So yeah, I love it. And that's my Saskie sweater update. My next work in progress is my Sunshine Tee by Andrea Knits. I cast this on for the Sunshine Tee Cal that she was running when the pattern released, but I unfortunately did not finish it in time because I started working on the Lunan test knit, which is totally fine. But I am absolutely loving this pattern. You can see I have done quite a bit on the body so far. Oh, let me move this a little bit more into screen. Split for sleeves, done quite a bit on the body. I have added bust darts. So you can see I've added those. I mean, you can kind of see, not really. Oh yeah, there you go. You can see them there. And I'm just absolutely loving it. So I am knitting this with Knitting for Olive Merino in the colorway. Is this Strawberry Rhubarb? I don't think so. I don't remember what color this is, but it's definitely Knitting for Olive Merino. I am using size, I think this is US size 3, yeah, 3.25mm needles, and I am loving it. This is the most tactilely satisfying knit I think I have ever done in my entire life, and I plan on constantly having Knitting for Olive on Chow Goose needles because it is amazing. It's so tactilely satisfying. I love it so much. The only thing about this pattern is after I finished a ball on the body, I decided to go up and do the neck. And I did the neck. It's beautiful. It's really cute. Camera's focusing on my cat, not me. It's really cute. It's really beautiful, but I can barely get it over my head. Now that's probably a problem with how I did my bind off. I have a very large Irish head. I can get it over my head though. I have to take my hair out of a ponytail and take my glasses off to do it, but I can do it. I have not blocked this yet, so I'm hoping I can block a wee bit of more space into it. But other than that, I'm loving the pattern. It's a little bit wrinkly because it's just been shoved in my knitting bag, but yeah, Otherwise, I'm loving it. For the bust darts, I did make a little bit of a modification. I picked the biggest size bust darts, and then tried it on as I went and as I did them. And so I didn't actually end up doing all of the bust darts for the size that I had selected. I don't remember what size I am knitting, or all I know is that I picked the biggest size for the bust darts. I only did 12 of them, I think. I can't remember how many I was supposed to do, but I only did 12, and I basically just kept trying it on until I felt like I liked where it was sitting, and then just went into like knitting the body straight, and that's where I'm at right now. I am kind of hoping that I can get this done before flock and maybe have options for a flock outfit. We'll see. I think I'm just gonna wear the Flutter butt shirt that I'm wearing right now. But I'm super excited to wear this. I think this is gonna be the perfect like LA knit because it's so hot here, and it is so hot throughout the entire year. And I just can't wait to have some more knits that I can actually wear. It's gonna be great. I absolutely love this pattern. I plan on making many, many more of them. I think Andrea has absolutely killed it. This is just the best. I love it. So thank you, Andrea. Yeah, and you'll probably see this on the next podcast episode. Hopefully I'll be done by then. Who knows? Okay, next up is my newest cast on, which is a no frills sweater by Petite Knit. I was gonna say the Petite Knitter. No, this is by Petite Knit. For this pattern, as you can see, I've just started. It's still fairly new, and it's also not quite coming off on camera color accurate. It's a tiny bit more purple on camera than it is in real life. It's actually a little bit more blue in real life, and I'm absolutely loving this pattern. It is, every time I pick this up to knit it, I guess maybe loving the pattern isn't the right term that I was looking for. I am loving the color. This feels like pure color therapy to me because every time I pick this up, I am so happy knitting it because the color is just astounding. So for this sweater, I am knitting with one strand of Butterfly Pea by Pasley Knits on, I don't want to get this wrong, 100% sustainable extra fine merino wool. That is this color. And we'll do a little close-up for you. And the other thing that I'm holding it with is this. This is Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair in the colorway Lavender Blue. Now you can see on camera they're not quite the same. This is like the closest color mohair I could find to this. And on camera, this is coming off way more purple than it actually is. This is far closer to what the sweater is looking like, and they're actually not that different in real life. They look really different on camera. They're not actually that different in real life. I absolutely adore this. I'm so excited to have this sweater done. I normally hate mohair. Maybe not hate it. Hate is a strong word. I don't normally reach for it. I have a nervous system disorder, and so I'm always like really, really hot and really sweaty. Maybe not always, but like a good chunk of the time. And so mohair gets kind of prickly to me. But this isn't feeling too bad, so I think it'll be okay. I just love the color, so I'll wear an undershirt under it, basically, because this is the most beautiful color I think I've ever knit with, and I'm so excited to finish the sweater. As you can see, I've like only just started it, so. I also really wanted to try a compound raglan. I don't normally like raglans, but I feel like a compound raglan might be more my speed. I already had this pattern. Now, I'm not exactly happy with the pattern because it only goes up to 3X. And under normal circumstances, I wouldn't even knit with a pattern that only goes up to 3X. But one, I already own the pattern. And two, Petite Knit is releasing patterns all the way up to 5X now and going through her batt catalog and adding more sizes. So I do want to support designers who are doing that, who are growing in size inclusivity. So I am happy to be knitting this one. That's my tiny little discussion about Petite Knit today. Yes, so this is I'm calling this my jacaranda sweater because this color actually reminds me of jacaranda blossoms, which is my favorite part about living in LA. So this is my jacaranda sweater. And yeah, currently one of my favorite whips to work on. I love it. I love how it's feeling. I can't wait to wear this. Okay, now I have something I'm going to show you because it's not much. And this is pretty much all I can show you about it. But I have a secret sock test knit going on for a collab that I'm doing that will be coming out in September. And I can't show you photos. It's my own pattern. It's currently in testing. I cannot show you photos, but I can show you what I have so far because it's not much. I have finally, for the first time in my life, successfully casted on 2 at a time socks, which is amazing. I have tried so many times and it has never worked, and it seems like witchcraft to me. But I finally did it. I watched like 3 or 4 different YouTube videos on how to cast on 2 at a time socks, and then it finally clicked. And here we have my 2 at a time socks. Yeah, these are going to become the second socks to socks that I already have. Obviously, for this pattern, I'm on my 3rd pair of socks that are this pattern. You will see them coming out in September. And I'm very excited to release these. These are the socks I am the most proud of so far, of any of the sock patterns I have designed. I just love them. I hope you love them too. The pattern will be released for free. All of my sock patterns are free. You can check them out on Ravelry or on my website. I will link it down below. Yeah, all of my patterns are free. You can find them on my website or on Ravelry. This pattern will be free as well, and I'm so excited. I hope you love them as much as I do. I think my testers are liking them too, so I'm very excited. You will not see these again. At least not until the pattern comes out, because I don't want to spoil anything. So I think that is it for works in progress. Let me just take a look at my notes. Oh, totally not. I have 3 more works in progress that I have completely forgotten about. Okay, I have these. I cast these on last night. These are going to be a pair of hand warmers for my boyfriend's mom. She picked up the yarn, and I'm going to knit her a little pair of hand warmers. Now, I'm not using a pattern. I'm also not used to knitting with acrylic, and I don't know, this is looking kind of tiny, but like according to my gauge, it's gonna be fine. I might do a little bit of a mid-project block and see if these are gonna be okay, but these should be done fairly quickly because this is like worsted weight, and I'm used to knitting with fingering weight yarn. So yeah, I hope she likes them. This is the first one. I'm hoping to be done these fairly soon so that I can mail them to her before it starts getting cold, because she's on the other end of the country. So yeah, these are for my boyfriend's mom. I hope she likes them. Okay, my last 2 works in progress are spinning works in progress. So you already saw that I had a spinning finished object that was the Fiber Imp batt. I have 2 works in progress on hand spindles. So this is my first one. Oh, come on, focus. I realize I have to cover both my face and my cat's face. Okay, I think that's the best it's gonna focus. This is Thyme by Little Fiber Co. on Polwarth? Corriedale? I don't remember. I have it written down somewhere, so when I find it, I will let you know. And I'm spinning it on my Turkish drop spindle. I got this just before Tour de Fleece started because I wanted to have both a like hand spindle and a wheel spindle project ongoing. This is obviously a lot slower than wheel spinning, so I worked on this all throughout Tour de Fleece. I did not finish. I have 2 ounces of this fiber, and I think I have just over half an ounce spun on here. My goal is to have 2 little 1 ounce turtles, and then I'm gonna apply them together. Obviously this is taking a lot longer, so yeah. Not done during Tour de Fleece, but I'm loving it. I love drop spindles and I love hand spindles. I know that there are a lot of spinners out there who don't enjoy them, but I really love them. So yeah, this is my little Turkish drop spindle. It was a lot of fun to learn how to use because I had never I'd never used a Turkish spindle before, and it's so cute. I love it. It's great. Highly recommend. I think this is gonna come out at fingering weight because it's kind of like lace weight, maybe slightly thicker than lace weight right now. So I'm very excited. I have an idea for this. I can't wait to show you what it's gonna become. I hope it's gonna be as great in real life as it is in my head. So yes, this is my first work in progress spindle spinning, and I have a second work in progress spindle spinning. If you follow me on Instagram, you have already seen this little spindle. If you do not follow me on Instagram, I don't think you've seen this yet. But this, oh, there we go. This is my Woodland Handcrafts support spindle. Support spindle? I'm actually not sure which one it is, but it's by Woodland Handcrafts. It is a little owl, which is the cutest thing ever. I pre-ordered this months ago and I got it just before TDF, which was perfect timing. And I am practicing woolen spinning on a drop spin or on my supported spindle, long draw. I am using Rolegs that I made myself. This is a really terrible, really chunky Roleg. The rest of my Rolegs got a lot better. But I hand blended this on my blending board, made them by hand. It is with Malabrigo fiber in the colorways Marine and Wales Road, I think. And then my other Rolegs actually have a little bit of, pardon me, I have the hiccups, a little bit of white blended into them as well. And I'm getting a long draw spin. Or I guess the term that I was looking for was woolen spun. I'm getting a woolen spun yarn. I already have one little bobbin of this filled up. I'm almost done. Well, not really. I still have a little ways to go on this one. And then I'm going to apply them together and I can't wait to see how it turns out. It took me a while to actually get used to doing this kind of spin. Supported spindle spinning is a lot harder than I was expecting it to be, and it took me a while. But I got there in the end. And I actually ordered another spindle from Woodland Handcrafts this morning. I just love their work so much. Their spindles are so beautiful. So I couldn't help myself. And yeah, this is my supported spin long draw on my spindle. I keep all my spindles on my desk so that if I have like a few minutes like between teaching, or if I want like a 5-minute research break or something, I can just like pick it up and do a little bit of spinning. I find it just as easy to pick up as knitting, so I kind of alternate between like a little bit of spinning, a little bit of knitting. It's great. I love it. I have not yet actually knit with any of my hand spun because none of it has been like good enough in my opinion to knit with. But I'm gonna change that and I'm very excited. So yeah, this is my last work in progress. Okay, in terms of planned projects, I have 2 that I want to share with you. Actually, that's not true. I have 3 that I want to share with you. The first is that I plan on knitting the Audrey top by Petite Knit. I'm going to knit it with this beautiful De Rome Natura Antigone in the color Lupine. If you can't tell, I have a color crush at the moment. It's this like bluey purple. I actually originally got this to make the Ingrid top by Gregoria Fibers, but I swatched for it and hated it. The linen just did not work with the top. It's pure linen. It just didn't work. Oh no, fabric, focus, come back. Oh yes, my cat is being cute. Okay, but focus on me. Okay, I think that's working. Okay, so I'm going to make the Audrey top. I'm very excited. I saw Amy of Me Knits make an Audrey top a while back, and it looks so good that I now want to make my own. So I'm going to use this. I think it's going to be great. Yeah, I'm excited. So that's one planned project. My next planned project is the leaflet shawl by Justina Lorkowska? I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. It is so beautiful. I'm going to knit it with Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino in the colorway, I think it's called Leaf Green. I was originally gonna make a top with it, but then I saw this shawl and I was like, oh, I have to make that. So that's what I'm going to do. I know that cotton merino is not normally chosen for a shawl, but I live in a very hot climate, and a lot of the time I don't actually need the warmth. I just want something around my shoulders. So I'm gonna try making a shawl in cotton merino and see how it turns out. I just love the like lace leaf pattern so much. I can't wait. I don't know when I'm gonna cast that on, but I'm definitely gonna cast it on at some point. And finally, I have plans to knit a doppio sweater. I'm very excited. I have been wanting to knit a doppio sweater for a while now, and I think I have the perfect yarn for it. Which leads me into acquisitions. So the yarn for the doppio sweater that I want to use is this beautiful yarn by Sunday Fiber Co. in the colorway Saltwater. Oh no. Oh. This is chaos. Here we go. This was one of her, from the archive skeins. I think this was June or July's. And when I saw it, I was like, that is so beautiful. So I ordered a couple skeins and had no plan for it. And then was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a doppio sweater. So I'm gonna make a doppio. I need a strand of lace weight something to hold with this. And I think I'm going to look for that at Flock next weekend. I thought about holding it with a skein, with a strand of mohair, but I have a mohair sweater on the go right now. So I think I'm gonna look for a skein of, or for a little bit of Surrey alpaca while I'm at Flock, and I will see how that goes. I think just having like the Surrey with the fingering would just be a lovely combination. So that is one of the things I will be looking for at Flock next weekend. In terms of other acquisitions, I have this beautiful skein from Obus Etc. that I got from Shop La Mercerie when I ordered the linen for the top. This is in the colorway Confetti Plum and Pearl. It is the Ignia base, fingering weight, 60% wool, 20% ramie, 20% silk. Now, I don't normally buy things with silk in them unless it's recycled silk or cruelty-free silk. I did not realize when I bought this that it had silk in it. So I try to avoid buying things with silk in it just because I think the process of making silk is really cruel. So I'm still gonna use this because I have bought it and I don't want it to go to waste, but I do try to avoid purchasing things with silk in them. Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair is cruelty free, so that's why I use that. But yeah, I bought this. I really love the colorway, so it's not gonna go to waste, but I do try not to buy silk. The other acquisition I have is I think this is the July Book Club colorway from Pasley Knits. If you have not received yours yet, please pause and like skip forward because I'm going to show the skein. This is, I think, the July Club colorway, maybe the August Club colorway. No, definitely July. And these are the colorways The Love Stays and Lemon. I cannot remember what book this is from, but I plan on reading the book. Coley has the best taste in books. We have very similar taste in books, so if she recommends a book that I have not read yet, I'm like, I have to read that, of course. So I'm very excited. This is not something I would normally pick. It's very bright, very out of my comfort zone, and I adore it. So I cannot wait to knit up a pair of socks with these. You will see that in the near future. And I think it's gonna be just stunningly beautiful. So Collie, you are amazing. As you know, I love all of your colorways. So, and I have one final acquisition. This is a spinning acquisition, and I have a braid of Merino nylon blend in the colorway Wood Duck created by Elise B. Let me just wrap this up into a little thing so you can see it a little bit better. Ta-da! I have been watching videos on Craftsy about spinning, and specifically the series on spinning with color. I'm drawing a blank on the person who teaches it, but she's the wonderful lady behind Sweet Georgia, School of Sweet Georgia. I've been watching that video, and so I decided to step out of my color comfort zone and pick something I wouldn't normally. I would not normally go for something like this with so many different colors and so, I don't know, just out of my color comfort zone. But I'm going to spin this up. I cannot wait. I loved what she talked about in the video and how she talks about different ways that you can spin color from braids and like how they turn out and how to make them different. And every single braid that she had, I was like, I would never choose that. Like, that's so out of my comfort zone. And then I loved how every single one of them turned out. So I went on Created by Elise B and picked out a colorway that is out of my color comfort zone. And I'm gonna spin this up. I'm very excited. I have also never spun with a merino nylon. So I'm excited to see how that turns out as well. If you have made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. I deeply appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like. And if you'd like more content like this, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out. I will be at Flock next weekend, so if you want to come say hi, please do. I would love to meet you. And otherwise, have a lovely rest of your weekend and happy knitting.